Ever wondered why you can lift your toes, stand on your tiptoes, and even turn your foot outward? 3 completely different movements, but they're all controlled by muscles below your knee. This is part 3 of the video on anatomy of muscles of the lower limb. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. Instead of memorizing 13 different muscles individually, what if you could learn them by remembering just 3 compartments? That's exactly how the leg is organized. The compartments of leg include anterior compartment, posterior compartment, and the lateral compartment. The anterior compartment includes the tibialis anterior muscle, extensor hallucis longus muscle, extensor digitorum longus muscle, and the fibularis tertius muscle. The posterior compartment is further divided into superficial and deep group. The superficial group of muscles include the gastrocnemius, soleus, and the plantaris. The deep group includes the popliteus, flexor digitorum longus, flexor hallucis longus, and the tibialis posterior. The lateral compartment includes the fibularis longus and the fibularis brevis muscle. That might seem a lot of information, but here's the trick. You don't need to memorize every muscle individually. Just remember the compartment, its main action, and its nerve supply. This table includes all the compartments, the common action, and the nerve supplies. The action of the muscle in the anterior compartment is dorsiflexion of the foot and extension of the toes. The muscles are supplied by the deep fibular nerve. The common action of muscles in the lateral compartment include eversion of the foot, and they are supplied by the superficial fibular nerve. The common action of muscles in the posterior compartment include plantar flexion of the foot and flexion of the toes, and they are supplied by the tibial nerve. Now let's discuss each muscle separately, starting with the anterior compartment muscles. The first muscle is tibialis anterior. This muscle originates from the lateral surface of the tibia and gets inserted to the medial cuneiform bone and the base of the first metatarsal. The action of the muscle is dorsiflexion of the foot and inversion of the foot, and it is supplied by the deep fibular nerve. Let's have a look. As we zoom here, this muscle which you can see is the tibialis anterior. Here it originates from the lateral surface of the tibia and gets inserted here to the medial cuneiform and the base of the first metatarsal. Next muscle of the anterior compartment is the extensor digitorum longus. This muscle originates from the lateral condyle of the tibia and the medial surface of the fibula. The fibers of the muscle converge into a tendon which travels onto the dorsal surface of the foot. Action of the muscle is extension of the lateral foretoes and the dorsiflexion of the foot, and it is supplied by the deep fibular nerve. Let's have a look. As you can see, this bone highlighted in the blue is the tibia, and this muscle which you can see is the extensor digitorum longus. It originates here from the lateral condyle of the tibia and extends all the way onto these 4 digits. You can remember it simply by the name extensor digitorum longus. The muscle extends the digits and gets inserted onto the dorsal surface of the foot where these 4 digits are present. Like the extensor digitorum longus is for the lateral 4 digits, there is another muscle for the great toe of the foot or the hallux of the foot. This muscle is called as the extensor hallucis longus. It originates from the medial surface of the fibular shaft and gets inserted onto the base of the distal phalanx of the great toe. As the name suggests, this muscle extends the great toe and also helps in dorsiflexion of the foot. It is also supplied by the deep fibular nerve. Before looking at the 3D model, let's take a look at the 2D image first. This purple shaded muscle which you can see traveling all the way down to the distal phalanx of the great toe is the extensor hallucis longus. Let's take a look at the 3D model to understand it even better. In order to look at the muscle clearly, we have to remove all the other muscles. This surface which you can see is the medial surface of fibula, that is the point of origin of this muscle. So this muscle which you can see is the extensor hallucis longus. As you can see, it extends all the way down to the distal phalanx of the great toe. Last muscle of the anterior compartment is the fibularis tertius, also known as the peroneus tertius. This muscle originates with the extensor digitorum longus from the medial surface of the fibula and attaches to the fifth metatarsal. Action of the muscle is eversion and dorsiflexion of the foot, and it is also supplied by the deep fibular nerve. Let's have a look. So this muscle is the extensor digitorum longus, and lateral to it, this small muscle originating is the fibularis tertius. As you can see, it travels down the fifth metatarsal and gets inserted there. With this, we have completed the anterior compartment of the leg and move on to the next compartment, which is the posterior compartment. As we discussed earlier, posterior compartment is further divided into superficial and deep group. So first, let's do the superficial muscles. Starting with the gastrocnemius muscle. The gastrocnemius is the most superficial of all the muscles in the posterior leg. It has medial and lateral heads and forms a characteristic calf pattern of the leg. The lateral head originates from the lateral femoral condyle. The medial head originates from the medial femoral condyle. The two heads combine to form a single muscle belly. Distally, the muscle belly converges with the soleus muscle to form the calcaneal tendon. This inserts onto the calcaneus. The action of the muscle is plantar flexion at the ankle joint and flexion at the knee joint. And it is supplied by the tibial nerve. Let's have a look. So, we have to rotate this leg in order to see the posterior compartment muscles. This blue shaded part is the lateral head of the gastrocnemius. And this is the medial head. As you can see, each head originates from its respective condyle, lateral and the medial femoral condyle. And they converge here to form a single muscle belly, which further contributes to this calcaneal tendon. Next muscle is the soleus. It originates from the soleal line of the tibia and proximal fibula. And the muscle converges with the fibers of the gastrocnemius to form the calcaneal tendon, which inserts on to the calcaneus. This muscle helps in plantar flexion of the foot at the ankle joint. And it is innervated by the tibial nerve. Let's have a look at the 2D image first to understand it better. These are the heads of the gastrocnemius muscle, which have been removed. This long muscle below the gastrocnemius is the soleus. And here it helps in the formation of the calcaneal tendon. Now let's look at the 3D model. After we remove the gastrocnemius muscle, this muscle highlighted in the blue is the soleus. And this is the calcaneal tendon, which is formed by the gastrocnemius and the soleus muscle. Third muscle of the posterior compartment is the plantaris. The plantaris is a small muscle which is absent in approximately 10% of the population. It originates from the lateral supracondylar line of the femur. The fibers condense into a tendon which travels down the leg between the gastrocnemius and the soleus muscle. It blends with the calcaneal tendon and inserts onto the calcaneus. It contributes to the plantar flexion at the ankle joint and flexion at the knee joint. And it is also supplied by the tibial nerve. Let's have a look at the 2D image first. This thin muscle which you can see is the plantaris, and it also gets inserted here onto the calcaneal tendon. Now let's see the 3D model. This is the femur, which has the supracondylar line, that is the point of origin of this muscle. This thin muscle is the plantaris, which inserts here to the calcaneal tendon. With this, we finish the superficial muscles of the posterior compartment and move on to the deep muscles. First muscle is the popliteus. It originates from the lateral condyle of the femur and the lateral meniscus of the knee joint. And it inserts onto the proximal tibia, immediately above the origin of the soleus muscle. This muscle helps in lateral rotation of the femur relative to the tibia. This unlocks the knee joint so that flexion can occur. Confused, right? Don't worry, we will look at how it helps in unlocking the knee joint. This muscle is also supplied by the tibial nerve. Let's look at the unlocking movement. So this highlighted muscle is the popliteus. And the unlocking movement is when the knee starts to flex. Now let's look at the 3D model. This is the femur, and here we have the lateral condyle, the point of origin. So this muscle which you can see is the popliteus. It gets inserted here onto the proximal tibia. Next muscle is the flexor digitorum longus. It originates from the posterior surface of the tibia and attaches to the plantar surfaces of the lateral 4 digits. As the name suggests, the muscle helps in flexion of the lateral 4 toes, and it is supplied by the tibial nerve. Let's look at the 2D image first. This is the posterior surface of the tibia, the point of origin. These are the lateral 4 digits where the muscle is inserted. So this muscle is the flexor digitorum longus. Let's have a look at the 3D model. This muscle is the flexor digitorum longus inserting to the lateral 4 digits. Next muscle is the flexor hallucis longus. The muscle originates from the posterior surface of the fibula and attaches to the plantar surface of the phalanx of the great toe. As the name suggests, it helps in flexion of the great toe. It is also supplied by the tibial nerve. Let's have a look at the 2D image first. So this is the posterior surface of the fibula. And this muscle traveling all the way to the distal phalanx of the great toe is the flexor hallucis longus. Now let's take a look at the 3D model. This is the fibula. And this muscle originating from the posterior surface is the flexor hallucis longus. Last muscle of the posterior compartment is the tibialis posterior. It originates from the posterior surface and the interosseous membrane of the tibia and the fibula, and attaches to the plantar surface of the medial tarsal bones. The action of the muscle is inversion and plantar flexion of the foot. It is supplied by the tibial nerve. Let's have a look. This is the tibia. And this is the fibula. The muscle highlighted is the tibialis posterior, which attaches to the plantar surfaces of the tarsal bones, as you can see. With this, we move on to the last compartment of the leg, the lateral compartment, which has only 2 muscles. First muscle is the fibularis longus, also called as the peroneus longus. It originates from the superior and the lateral aspect of the fibula and attaches to the bones of the medial side of the foot, the medial cuneiform and the base of the first metatarsal. The action of the muscle is eversion and plantar flexion of the foot, and it is supplied by the superficial fibular nerve. First, let's have a look at the 2D image. This muscle is the fibularis longus, and it attaches to the base of the first metatarsal and the medial cuneiform like this. Let's have a look. Let's rotate the leg laterally. This is the point of origin, the superficial and the lateral aspect of the fibula. And here it attaches to the medial cuneiform and the base of the first metatarsal. Last muscle of this compartment is the fibularis brevis. The muscle originates from the inferolateral surface of the fibular shaft and attaches to a tubercle on the 5th metatarsal. Action of the muscle like the fibularis longus is eversion of the foot, and it is also supplied by the superficial fibular nerve. Let's have a look at the 2D image first. So this is the fibularis brevis, which attaches to the base of the fifth metatarsal. It will be more clear in the 3D model. This is the inferolateral surface of the fibula, the point of origin. And this is the point of insertion, the fifth metatarsal. So this muscle is the fibularis brevis. This is the fibularis longus. And this small muscle is the fibularis brevis. With this, we have completed all the muscles of the leg. So that is it for this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and follow us on Instagram. Links in the description.